Hey, what's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be talking about the highest ROI marketing strategy for your vacation rental property. We're going to talk about how to get more bookings, get more consistent bookings, and get a more predictable booking schedule. On top of that, the reason this is one of the best marketing strategies is because you do the work once and you get natural organic results over and over again, month after month, even 5 to 10 years down the road. That's exactly why it's the highest ROI. So because it's so effective, competition can be tough. This means to get started, you're not only going to need a website, but you're also going to need a good amount of time and a lot of effort. So with that all being said, let's get started. If you're watching this, you might have already gotten your website set up. Maybe you built it yourself. Maybe you hired a company, but maybe you're not seeing any traffic or any bookings coming in from your website. You might have had this idea in your head that once you get a website built, it'll be nice. You'll start getting direct bookings, more traffic to your website, and things will be good. Unfortunately, that's what a lot of web designers tend to just sell. They just want to sell you a website and get it over with. But the truth is, with web design, the actual appearance of your website has it's like 20% of a good website. The other 80% is search engine optimization, and that's actually what we're going to be talking about today. Search engine optimization is hands down the best ROI marketing strategy, honestly, for any business. But because we're talking specifically about vacation rentals, we're going to focus on that today. If you don't know what I do, my day job, I own a web agency in Chicago, in the Chicago area. This is actually it right here, MuraDigital.com. This is just kind of a construction type shirt because the companies that I work with are typically construction companies, home improvement type companies, manual labor, stuff like that. And also, guys will always walk up to you and be like, "Hey, what do you do? You're a logger? Not many loggers in Chicago." That's a great question. It's a good conversation starter. So what I do at my web agency is I basically get hired by local companies and even companies across the United States. I've got a few in different states. They hire me to do search engine optimization, and that basically just means when somebody types in a question or something on Google related to their industry, their website's going to pop up answering that question, and then since they're going to be on that website for that answer, they're already going to be on your website, for whatever it may be that you're trying to convert them to. And then in my free time between clients, I actually also build websites myself using search engine optimization, and I generate leads for businesses in other states and forward them the leads, and I charge them monthly for that. So what's really awesome about search engine optimization is once you set it up, it's permanent until somebody basically outworks you or your content is no longer relevant because it's just so old. So that's why I say search engine optimization is by far the best ROI, because you can do it once, you could pay for it once, and it could last you 5-10 years. It really could. If you do pay-per-click advertising, you pay once, you get results once. You pay again, you get results again. You pay again, you get results again. And it's a constant. It's never ending. That's really with any paid advertisement. But with search engine optimization and your website, it's different. And that's the point. That's what clicked in my head where I was like, I need to do this. Because in my past life, I was actually also doing pay-per-click advertising. I was doing Google ads, Facebook ads, and that's all been great, but it didn't really get the results that I wanted my clients to get. And then on top of that, when we were done with the services, my clients would stop getting results altogether. So it's not something that I recommend unless you're a huge company that needs that extra boost. So the way I kind of put it to people is that search engine optimization and your website is like your physical fitness. Like you're at the gym getting swole, whatever it may be. Pay-per-click ads, paid ads, those are like steroids. They can be very, very, they can boost you like crazy. Or if you don't do it right, you're just wasting your time. You're kind of messing up your whole system, right? It works great in certain situations, but you got to make sure that your company is set up to do that specifically. If not, you might just be wasting your time. You might be putting your company in danger. You might be wasting a ton of money. So SEO has been around since like the 90s. It's tried and true. It works. The only thing is it can get competitive and it's very, very technical. A lot of people don't know how to do it. Even those that say that they know how to do it probably know how to do like half of it. It's a lot. Like to be a good search engine optimizer, you need to know web design, web development, copywriting, user experience, and like way more technical stuff beyond that. Like it's crazy. So SEO can be broken down many different ways, but the way I do it is in 4 different ways: website optimization, website content, offsite optimization, and offsite content. To me, that's just the simplest way. It's not typically broken down that way, and I'm going to explain that a little bit more, but that's just the simplest way to me. Making your website good, and then making your content on your website great, and then making your offsite stuff good, and then making your offsite content great. And I'll explain that a little bit further. So website optimization. Traditional search engine optimizers will call this technical optimization and on-page optimization. I combine those two into one only because I feel like they kind of go hand in hand. You need, in order to do the on-page stuff, you need to it's basically in the same area. For my car people, it's like, why not rotate the tires while your wheels are already off? You know, they're already off. You might as well do that too. So it's kind of like that. Technical optimization is pretty similar across every industry because you can use tools and stuff to check your website speed and stuff like that. So your website speed is super important when it comes to SEO. It's not the most important thing, but it's definitely up there because if you have a slow website, people will just leave. Like if you don't load in a certain amount of seconds, that's bad. I mean, even like over a second is bad. We use GT metrics. I use that for my web agency and for local guide websites. And then we also use WP Rocket, WordPress Rocket, which is a premium plugin. It is expensive, but it is worth it because it really does speed up your website if you use WordPress. It's incredible. Your website structure. So your structure needs to make sense. Not only helps your users, but it helps Google. It shows Google that there's some type of hierarchy to your web pages, right? Like your most important web page should be linked to by all your other smaller web pages, like your articles, your blog posts, or whatever it may be. All your different pages should be linking to your main pages, and that's why we put website structure there, because it's something that you need to consider before you even start your website, to be honest with you. If you already have your website, that's fine, but you need to map it out and then make sure it's organized and it makes sense for the hierarchy. Again, it's good for the user experience, but it's even better for Google because they're understanding. The Google algorithm understands the more you link to one of your pages on your site, the more important it is. That is the main topic of this site. That's what we need to push forward when someone searches on Google. Your image optimization is a huge one. And it's really easy. A lot of cell phones and stuff take pictures that are like 4 times too big than a website would ever need. So make sure that you're shrinking them down if they're too big. Make sure that you're compressing the file sizes if they're too bloated. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've seen or gone into websites to fix them, and literally all of their images are just gigantic. And I know this is going to sound like gibberish to most people, but me personally, my kind of threshold is around 200 kilobytes for an image. If it's over 200 kilobytes, I really need to consider if I want to use that image. If it's really that important to have that high quality image, because it's going to slow down your website, it's going to slow down your loading speed, and again, Google does not like that. So there's 2 different types of sitemaps. There's an XML sitemap and an HTML sitemap. HTML sitemap is something that humans can read. It kind of makes it prettier so that we can look at it. You don't need to concern yourself with that. Your XML sitemap, that's basically just code and links and stuff. That is what Google's algorithm can actually read. So once you're completely finished with your website, once you have your structure all done, once you've got your keywords in place, once you have everything done on your website and it's like chef's kiss, done, you need to generate your sitemap, your XML sitemap, which is easy with the Yoast plugin if you're using WordPress. So you generate your XML sitemap and then you upload it to Google through Google Search Console. It's not like Google will find your website faster. Google has your website in a queue and it will reach to it when it reaches to it, right? It may take a few months, it may take a few weeks, whatever it may be. But the good thing about uploading your sitemap is that once Google finds your website, we've already uploaded a map of the website, so Google understands that, hey, this is how the website should be, this is how the hierarchy should be, and this is what you should look for. It just makes it easier for Google to index and get through more accurately. Now, the last part that I lumped into technical optimization is on-page optimization. This is a whole separate topic for a lot of other people, but the reason that I kind of split it up for us and at my company is because so many people focus on content that's just filled with keywords for SEO. And that, I mean, it works if no one else has good content, but if website A has really great ranking content because of the keyword use, but a really like lame article that like is boring and nobody even wants to read, and website B has the same amount of keywords, the same amount of targeting and everything, but their content is actually good, or it's funny, or it's educational, or it's just useful in any way, people are going to choose that. Naturally, you can do all the on-page optimization you want, but if your content sucks, you're not going to get people to stay there. And it's not going to work. People aren't going to, at the end of the day, it's a content game. It's quality content. You not only need to make quality content, you need to make the best content. Hold on, I'm getting way too ahead of myself right now. Hold on. I'm getting too ahead of myself because seriously, because this is important. This is the part where people mess, even the experts, even the SEO experts, even the people that make a living off of this mess this up because they're just focusing on getting the ranking and then leaving. And then that ranking will go down eventually once another competitor sees, hey, these are all the keywords they're targeting. I'm just going to target the same keywords. Now they just copied your homework because anyone can do that with SEMrush. They just copied your homework, and then now all they have to do is make better content than you. How hard is that? They just need to read your content, make it better, maybe make a video out of it. Boom, done. And it's better than yours, and then eventually they're going to outrank you. Why? Because that SEO expert or whoever that was made content with just keywords. They didn't make valuable, good content. So, okay, let's move on because it's just something that gets me so fired up because it's where my opportunity is, right? It's where your opportunity is. So many people focus on just keywords, and that's on-page optimization is the keywords. That's important. It's super important. Yes, it's not going to work without that. I agree, but it's just not going to be as great as it could be without the great content. So on-page, with that little rant kind of over. So on-page optimization, the biggest part is your keyword research. And this is something that people really underestimate. I would say it's like half the work is doing the research because you can make the best on-page content. You could choose great keywords, but if they're extremely competitive and you're not going to rank regardless, or they don't get traffic at all, you're wasting your time. So you really, really need to do your keyword research with tools like SEMrush. I'm not affiliated with them at all, but it's what I use. So using these keywords, you need to use them in the titles of your page, in the titles of your headings, throughout your paragraphs in your content. You need to use them in multiple headings. You need to use them in your H1 header, in your H2 headers, your H3 headers, your H4, all the way down to H6. You need to make sure that everything is tagged correctly as far as HTML. You need to make sure that your image alternate text also uses your keywords. You need to make sure that your URLs for each page are also including your keyword. It's a lot. That's why I kind of lump it all into the technical because it is very technical. Now, in my opinion, probably the most important part. Because again, if you have bad content, it's just not going to do good. What will keep your guests and your website visitors coming back over and over and sharing to their friends and sharing to their social media pages and let you go viral is excellent quality content. It's actually not that hard to make quality content. It really is not. It takes a long time. It takes a lot of effort. It might take money, but it's not hard. In order for your website to come up on Google, it needs to have some form of written content. Google cannot read images. Just like how we have those CAPTCHAs or whatever to prove you're not a robot, you have to click the pictures of the motorcycles or the fire hydrants or whatever it may be. It's because algorithms, robots, cannot read images. They're blind to images. They can't see them. So we have to explain to them what they are. So when Google's algorithm is looking for websites to show up when somebody searches the best beachfront view or best beachfront vacation rental in Miami, you need to make sure your vacation rental website says specifically beachfront vacation rental in Miami. You can't just say vacation rental. You can't just say beachfront Miami. You need to be very specific. So if we never tell Google what our website is about, how will it ever find us? It won't. It won't. So the whole point is to add more words to your website. How do you do that in a way that's not annoying? Have you ever wondered why companies, basically every large company has a blog? Do you think that they follow these blogs because they really want to keep up with these huge companies? Not at all. Those blogs are 100% search engine optimization content. They're literally making a long article explaining something to you using a ton of keywords that you might not even notice until now, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And those keywords and those specific phrases that they're injecting into those articles are searchable by Google because they are words, they're not images. And then when somebody types up, what is the best medicine for this? It'll come up to an article for that pharmacy that specifically said that. So that's why companies have blogs. 100% search engine optimization, no other reason. So again, you can have the most beautiful rental website in the world, the most beautiful pictures, the best videos, everything. But it will not show up in a Google search if you don't explain it on your website because there's no words that Google can pick up. So I want you to do a quick exercise, really quick. Go to your website, your vacation rental website, if you have one. If you're watching this still, I'm assuming that you have one. Go to your vacation rental website. If you don't have one, go Google one. Look up their titles, look up the title of their website, look up the title, look up the headings. Because if you notice here, I've got vacation rental marketing, vacation rental marketing. You see how many titles I have that use that word? Go to your website and see how many titles have your specific keywords. I also urge you to go the next step further and look up those phrases and keywords in SEMrush. I believe they have a 7-day free trial. I'm not at all affiliated with them, but it's a great tool that I use. Look up those keywords and phrases and see if A, they have any traffic at all. So is it even worth it that you're targeting them? And B, are they overly competitive? So are you just going to get lost in a sea of crazy search engine optimized websites, which is unfortunate because the competition is tough. It's hard. So again, you might be a little bit surprised at how many of your titles are very vague. Again, if your title just says beachfront vacation rental or rent now or like vacation time or something like that, like it's not helping you out. Once you understand kind of what needs to be done on your website, and if you've gotten this far, you're kind of understanding more, I would hope. What keywords need to be on your website, where you need to put them, where your mind needs to be, where you need to start thinking about things. The first place that you should start is your own website, your existing content. See if you can optimize that. Can you change your titles to be a little bit more descriptive and include your keywords that you're now trying to target? And again, before you do this, do your keyword research. There's nothing worse than making a whole website and then realizing that you've been targeting the wrong keywords. It happened to me when I first learned search engine optimization. I was making websites and I didn't know years ago, I didn't know which keywords to target or anything about this. And I was making websites that I just thought were, the right keywords, and they really weren't. So do your keyword research first. Trust me, it's worth it. It saves you so much time. But the first place to start is to optimize your existing content. Now, if you're going to be optimizing your existing content, you might want to be careful with a few different things, like your hyperlinks, your URLs. If you change that and you have existing links, those links are going to get broken. So, and that's actually bad for your search engine optimization. Now, a few examples for vacation rental marketing keywords that we can use. This is finding people when they're in their research phase. It's not finding people when they're ready to book. I mean, sure, that's great if we're finding people when they're ready to book. That's obviously the main goal. But finding people in the research phase and when they're still making their plans is a great spot to find them because you likely found them first before they even booked anywhere else and they're still doing their research. And then you can entice them on your website with why it's the best idea in the world to stay your vacation rental and no other one. And again, that's up to your website design. That's that little 20% of web design, the actual conversion part. I would say 80% of your website is getting people there. 20% is converting that traffic into paying customers. So when you're thinking about your keywords, you do want to start with your vacation rental, your amenities, your local area, stuff like that. And then once you got those basics covered, you want to expand out and cast a wider net of keywords. So you can start thinking about things like bachelor party ideas, Miami. That's if you have like a penthouse type house or something, or something that would suit a bachelor party. Birthday activities, family fun in Miami, day trips near Miami, best museums in Miami. And the best part about this is you can kind of gear the content towards your target customer. If you prefer having families stay at your vacation rental and you don't really want like nightlife type people, you don't have to make nightlife type content. You can make day trips, fishing spots. You can make all those different types of content, local area content, and it could be directed exactly at the people that you want staying at your vacation rental. It's awesome. It's perfect. It's even if you were to do paid ads, you can't really target like that. And that's what's so awesome about search engine optimization. You can literally target who you're looking for. So I'd say one of the hardest parts is actually making good quality content. This content needs to be better than everything that's out there, essentially. I mean, ideally, it should be the best content. If it's the best content and you do great SEO, it will rank high, super high. So ideally, you want the best content. How do you get the best content? Here's my little hack. look up the content that you're looking to create. Like say you're looking for you want to make a list of the 10 best fishing spots in Colorado Springs. You Google that, you YouTube that, you take all of those suggestions, combine them into yours, add some additional information, add some of your own personal insights or some of your own personal research, additional research that you did, make it slightly better content, make it slightly higher quality, and you can outrank them. They're going to choose you. Does their content, is it too long? Make a nice short little worksheet. Is it too short? Make a long drawn out thing. Do they not have a video? Make a video and then post it to your YouTube and then link the YouTube video on your website. There's so many different ways that you could do and so many different types of content and ideas for making content that there's really no excuse other than you just don't want to do it, because 9.9 times out of 10 the content already exists. You just need to look at it and make it better, and it requires effort. It's hard, but I put it this way, it's an open book test. You've already got the answers right there in front of you. All you have to do is do better than them. You can figure it out. You can find a way. After we go through all the trouble of creating these articles, this content, these newly optimized website pages injected with awesome keywords, we need to actually promote it, because that's the best way to actually boost your organic traffic is by promoting it yourself, and that kind of gets the ball rolling. It tells Google, hey, we need to index this page. It's getting some traffic. We need to be prepared for it. Share the living F out of it everywhere. Social media pages, your friends, your family, force your friends to share it too. Who cares? Just share it, because once you get it out there, once you get the traffic rolling, that's really going to help you. Off-site content marketing. Oh man, okay. This video is already longer than it should be, so I don't care. We're just going to get into it. Search engine optimizers are missing this part, and it makes me so hyped. It makes me hyped. Why? Because it's a huge opportunity for me and you. The number one search engine in the world, by far, hands down, is Google. The number two is YouTube. A lot of search engine optimizers have not really connected those dots yet. They're still so focused on the on-page stuff. Maybe they don't like making videos, whatever it may be. But if you're not capitalizing on YouTube being the number two search engine in the world, you are seriously missing an opportunity. With that being said, Google is still our number one priority. It's number one by far. It's not even close. I think something like 93% of traffic comes from Google services. And guess what? YouTube is owned by Google. If you've noticed, you go into Google search sometimes, you type in a question or whatever it may be, the first answer might be a YouTube video. And a lot of times it is now. So YouTube is kind of leaking into the traditional SEO world, and people are still not really catching up to it. So I'll just kind of leave that there for you. Focus on YouTube, direct that YouTube traffic to your website, and watch those results go up. So we understand why our website might not be getting traffic, what we need to fix technically on the website, what we need to fix as far as content on the website, but how do we know what content to make? There's so many different ideas. If this is the part where you're stuck at, I'll just give you some time, because you're going to figure, like, literally just go meditate for 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and you'll think of something. Go work out, do something, think about it, sleep on it for a few days. I don't know. You'll figure it out. If not, here are some good tips. What information would be useful before visiting? I'll give you an example. I went to Colorado recently and I loved it. It was the most beautiful experience ever. I rented a vacation rental on the top of a mountain at 9,000 feet in the air. Me being from Chicago, I didn't realize the oxygen was going to be an issue. The first 2 or 3 days, I could like barely breathe. So something that might have been nice to know before I went there would have been, hey, you might have trouble breathing. Maybe don't stay in a mountain for the first day or 2 or 3. And if you do, maybe buy some oxygen in a can, because they sell that apparently. So what would be helpful to know before you visit? Are there any tools or products that would be helpful to your visitors during their stay? What are some personal tips you can provide about the local area? Is there always accidents on this corner? Or does this bar get rowdy after a certain time? You might not want to go there. Or is the beach dangerous in this area? Or something, or something like, or is there broken glass typically somewhere? Or you know what I mean? Typical things, personal things, but because you live there or because you own a vacation rental there. Should they absolutely do something in particular? Should they absolutely avoid something in particular? Can you save them time on their trip? Can you save them money on their trip? Can you help them avoid something that's going to suck, like traffic? Can you help them avoid traffic? It's as simple as saying, hey, don't take this street during this between these hours because the traffic sucks. I live here, trust me. Can you suggest them better transportation routes? And that applies not only to traffic, but say you know somebody's coming in and they want to do some certain touristic activities. They want to go see these 5 different spots in one day, but they don't know that they can go here and take the train in all these spots and it'd be way faster and way easier and way less of a hassle if they do it this way. Instead, they're gonna Uber from each place, or they're gonna rent a car and then take a bus and then blah 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 and rent bikes and blah blah. You are the local expert or the local guide on your local area. So give them the best absolute information on how they should do things, how they can schedule their day trips, stuff like that. They're going to really remember that. They're going to be like, wow, because of that host, because of that vacation rental, and they were so thoughtful, we got to do 5 things instead of 3 each day. Over a week, like we did so much more stuff than we could have done. So think about things like that because people really appreciate it. Can you tell potential visitors about the history of the area? How about a list of local events, festivals or music events, whatever it may be, social events? And one way that I kind of like to gauge the usefulness of my content, especially if it's one single page content, is how likely would they be to screenshot this and save it to their phone. A lot of times when people are doing vacation research, they'll screenshot things, they'll save things and save them to a folder on their phone or whatever it may be. How likely are they to screenshot that? If it's super likely, if it's super helpful, that's great content. But if it's not very likely, if it's like a page full of keywords and like paragraphs that like just are just full of keywords and really not giving me any good information, nobody's going to save that. It's clear that that's just for SEO, and a lot of people do that, unfortunately. So on top of getting more traffic to your website and your vacation rental, increasing bookings, stuff like that. The other great part about search engine optimization and making really great quality content for your local area, the local businesses and the local community will actually end up loving your business. That's something that I'm not sure is super common for vacation rentals. Some places are welcoming, but other places are not so welcoming to vacation rentals because they bring in tourists, people that might not necessarily care about the local area, stuff like that. But if you're making great content and you're educating people on the local area, the reasons why people care about it, things like that, people are naturally going to respect it more. On top of that, the local businesses and the local communities are going to respect your business more. And then your business and your website will actually become a beacon of information for the local area. Local businesses will refer to your website when people ask questions. So it not only generates revenue, but it also builds trust in your local community, and that's something that's really hard to do, especially with marketing. So we've made website content, offsite content, we've optimized our website, now we have to optimize our offsite profiles. What do I mean by that? I mean your Instagram, your YouTube, your Twitter, your Facebook, whatever it may be that you have for the vacation rental for your business, you need to make sure that they are uniform, they're conveying the same message, and they're all funneling that traffic, those eyeballs that see those biographies on your profiles. You're directing that traffic into your website or wherever it may be that you want them to see. Maybe you want them to see a YouTube video, or maybe you want them to see a specific article on your website, whatever it may be. But you want to funnel them somewhere. You don't want to just say, hey, this is my vacation rental and here's the website. No, you need to say, hey, this is our vacation rental. This is why it's the best. If you want either to learn more or book or to learn about your local community, blah, 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 you need to have an enticing hook to get them to click that link. You can research, you can look up how to build an effective Twitter profile or how to build an effective Instagram biography. But if you can't find that information on how to optimize your profiles, your social profiles and stuff, just send me a message, leave a comment on this video. I'll get back to you. I can send you a link to what I use, which is basically, I just made up kind of like a template type of thing to help me with the profile creations. The most important part of offsite optimization, in my opinion, and in many other search engine optimizers' opinions, is backlinking. What is backlinking? That is when somebody links to your website from their website. A local business has their own website and they say, hey, if you're looking for a vacation rental, we recommend our partners over here, and they have a link to your website. That increases your authority with Google because it shows that another trustworthy website is linking to your website, showing this trustworthy website is sending their hard-earned website visitors to this other website. Clearly it's trustworthy. And it works very well. So if you were to have a website that's ranked number 1 on Google for a certain keyword, and that website links to a website that's not really ranked at all, this website will be shot up in ranking because it got linked by the very highly ranked website. So why would somebody link to your website? Well, it's actually mutually beneficial for people to do that. The easiest way that you can do that for your vacation rental would probably just be join your local association or your chamber of commerce, something like that. They display you as a member on their website. They add a link to your website from their website. That's an official backlink. And because it's local and it's credible, it actually has a very high ranking. That's one of the best backlinks that you could do for your local website. Another way that people get backlinks is they do guest posts. Like they'll write an article for another blog and say, hey, I wrote this article for you. If you post it, we can post it as like a joint article. That way you get content for your website and I get a backlink. And then if you want to write an article for my website, you can send me that article. We'll co-write it. I'll publish it and then I'll get that traffic and then I'll also backlink you to your website. So you can kind of work things out with other websites, other business owners, influencers, stuff like that. But you really have to get creative, and that's why this is one of the hardest parts. It requires strategy, really good communication, and sales, honestly, because you need to talk to people and convince them to link to your website. You can do it. It's certainly worth it. So closing out here, is search engine optimization worth it? 100,000 million %. Yes, yes, yes. It is still working. It has been working. It's not going to stop working unless Google shuts down tomorrow. The hardest part of SEO is that the results aren't immediate. They're slow and they're gradual, but they're kind of like an avalanche. Once they get started, there's no stopping. As long as your content and your SEO is good, there's no stopping it. It's just going to keep going. But the bad part is it requires a ton of work up front. If you don't do the work up front, it's going to require a ton of investment up front. And that's why a lot of people shy away. That's why a lot of businesses don't do search engine optimization, because it's so time intensive. It's it takes a long time to write this and optimize this. You have to be extremely detail oriented, but it pays off. It really does, because you get loads of free traffic for years if you do it right. So is it worth the investment? Yes, 100,000%. Is every business in a position that they can make that investment? No, not at all. And that's why in my business, I actually offer SEO. And then in my downtime, when I'm not getting SEO jobs, I build websites myself for lead generation, because I know it works. Because all I have to do is put in all the time and effort. And it might take me months, but eventually I'm going to get a ton of leads coming in. And I just forward off the leads, and I charge a business monthly. I basically just rent the website to the business monthly to direct those leads over there. So that's kind of why I love SEO, is because I know it works. You just have to be patient. So the thing is, it requires a ton of time and effort. And then once you get that ranking, say you get to the first page of Google, it only multiplies from there. It's kind of hard to explain, but what I've seen before is companies invest $5,000 or $10,000 into SEO and they get to like the first page of Google. That's awesome. You're seeing traffic, no doubt. You're on the first page of Google. But what happens when you go from number 10 to number 9, number 9 to number 8, number 8 to number 7, number 7 to number 6, number 6 to number 5? I don't know if you can see, but that number 1 spot is crazy volume. Crazy. Like, it's the majority of the clicks. Number 2 gets almost twice as many clicks as number 3. Number 3 gets way more clicks than number 4. Like, what I'm trying to say is, once you get to the first page, every improvement in ranking is exponential. It's crazy. So when businesses get to the first page and then they're satisfied, so bad in my mind, I'm just like, please just go a little bit more, get to the top 3, and you're going to be blown away by your freaking results. Don't stop now, because you're just starting to see the good results. Like don't get me wrong, first page of Google is good results. Number 1 of Google is insane results, like crazy. Like you won't even believe it. You'll be like, I'm getting all this website traffic for free. Yes, you are, for free. Yeah. Oh, anyways, I know I've said I have a lot of favorite parts of SEO, but this is probably the biggest, is that the day that I realized that all of my content on social media is here today, gone in 30 minutes, is the day I stopped wanting to post on social media. The day I realized that my content on Google and YouTube, my website and YouTube channel, last forever. Let me say it again. They last forever. They last forever. Not 30 minutes, not one day. They last forever. People search. People actively use these tools to search. Your content stays on there forever. It might lose relevance in a few years. You might need to make a new video every year if you want to do that, if you want to stay on top. But it's there forever, not like social media. So that's one of my favorite things. I used to be huge on posting on social media. I used to be a huge advocate of, hey, your business needs to be on social media, presence, blah, blah, this and that. Google and YouTube, baby. That's all it takes, because it's all forever. It's content, it's tools. It's not a social media platform that you're posting on. It's a tool that people use for research. And you are their local guide for your vacation rental. That's all it is. That's what it's about. Being the local guide, being the best at your local community. So I really hope you learned something from this. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you want more information like this, because I've got 3 more videos in the making, and I've got a lot more vacation rental marketing coming out for YouTube and for my website. So if you've got a chance, check out localguideseo.com for all of your vacation rental SEO and website needs. We make direct booking websites, which are incredible. Automated messaging. You literally just have to sit there and watch out for your email to come in with bookings. Nothing else. Because why? Because we are an SEO agency, so we built your website with SEO in mind, with that foundational content in mind. We have a direct booking website with automation, and it's all set up exactly to your vacation rental, your unique property needs. If you're looking to connect and network with people like you and me that are improving their vacation rental marketing, getting more bookings, generating more revenue, scaling their vacation rental business, join my Facebook group that I just linked in the video. I appreciate you guys watching this. Again, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. Love you guys.